welcome at the conference which bears the title, the green title for government's growth for Europe. Nothing is more important nowadays than growth and jobs. I like very much optimism, but I prefer realism. Now let's see what we can do for achieving that objective.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to welcome you on behalf of the European Commission's representation at our, now I can say, annual conference. The morning session is devoted to the 2013 European semester and its launching documents published this Wednesday. It would have been difficult to find a better timing actually for our afternoon session. Based on the experience last week at the European Council, it seems it won't be easy to find a compromise among all member states to agree on a realistic but still sufficiently ambitious European budget.
I'm going to do the first part, which is to give you the context. So in which economic context this annual growth survey is coming out, and what are the challenges that we are trying to address. And then Carsten will present the policies, and I will come back after him with some elements on the blueprint. So if you have the context in which we are issuing the annual growth survey, it is not a very bright one, to say the least, and it is the case for the European Union, but also for the global environment. In terms of summing up, what are the major challenges that this economic context presents? As I said, there is the need to have continuous consolidation, but at the same time, I would stress that the issue is not consolidation across the board, no matter what. What we say is that it is extremely important to have this differentiated approach, so not everybody needs to consolidate in the same way and at the same speed. And in particular in the euro area, what we need, as I already hinted to this, is to move very clearly towards really a complete economic and monetary union, and in particular to move forward to this banking union system that is necessary to ensure the proper functioning of the financial sector.
I have the privilege of being fully independent, and I would like to use my privilege. Now on the sovereign debt, the response was many pack, the six-pack, the Euro Plus pack, the fiscal compact, and the forthcoming two-pack, which aim at stronger fiscal rules and institutions, surveillance and sanctions. There was also conditional lending to sovereigns. Reiterated the major targets, which again, growth funding consolidation, and all of these things are very important. But unfortunately, it gives very limited concrete measures. The balance of payment crisis should be addressed, the banking crisis should be addressed.
I will give you an overview of the annual growth survey instead. We're working at the same time on the current crisis, but we're also working on preventing the next one. So that is part of the blueprint. So basically short-term and long-term measures need to be pursued with the same determination in order to continue to restore confidence and stimulate growth and investment in the EU. So let me quickly remind you of the five priorities of last year's and of this year's annual growth survey. Pursuing differentiated and growth-friendly fiscal consolidation. Then the second one is restoring normal lending normal lending to the real economy. Promoting growth and competitiveness for today and tomorrow. That's the third priority. The fourth priority is tackling unemployment and the social consequences of the crisis, with a particular emphasis on youth employment. I will also youth unemployment. I will also develop on this one. And the fifth one is modernizing public administration, which is interlinked to the other priorities, obviously, but it is a priority in itself.
I think it's worth discussing issues related to growth. What I was planning for this panel is, let's say, 3 items. The first, what is the 2012 interpretation of the EU common budget? How much money we are talking about? Finally, I would like to raise and call for some attention concerning some discrepancies. There is a risk that the Union is being seen by the member states as a transfer union. I'm quoting here Prime Minister Orban, who a couple of days ago said that, well, now his impression is that member states are just looking at the common budget, that how much we put in it, how much we get out of it, and that's it. But we in Hungary still believe that the European Union is much more than just about money. Somehow we should rebuild the confidence. Without confidence, I don't think we will be able to go ahead with the European project. We should also regain the confidence of our own citizens, who are losing their faith in the European project.
I would give you a very simple two-part structure. First, coming back to what basically we are talking about when we talk about the MFF, the multi-annual financial framework. And secondly, indeed, where we are today and what the outlook is for the coming weeks and months. It is still so much better to have an agreement in the coming weeks than not to have one. It is really very crucial for the EU to have this agreement altogether. And then I think with that we will not need to be ashamed of the Nobel Prize we will receive early December.
I think there are 3 prerequisites which is important for when we are talking about how to get out the crisis and how can we have much higher growth in Europe. One is institutional. Certainly at European level there are also many institutional changes on way from European semester to banking union, but these are very important and prerequisite for growth and crisis prevention. Secondly, I think also at national level we have to do many reforms to make the economies more competitive. And the third part, which is related to the cohesion policy, is investment. We have carried out all the reforms which make possible to use this money in a very effective way. That was our job in the last 2 years.
On the one hand, we have to do our national budget consolidation, but beside this consolidation programs, it's very important to have also the possibility to invest, and we try with our budget to do both. On the European level, only some sentences speaking about the multi-annual financial framework. We discussed it already.